In what is indeed a historic moment, as described by President Cyril Ramaphosa, the African leaders under the auspices of the African Union engaged in a peacekeeping mission. The 10-point plan, as much as it relies on a diplomatic resolution, has not been called upon by either of the belligerents, because they come with predetermined conditions. Ukraine says that there must be a restoration of boundaries that were established after the end of the Cold War in 1991. And in actual fact, territories like the Crimea that have been taken over by Russia should be returned. While Russia itself argues, as part of its preconditions, that the territories that it has seized are not subject to negotiation, and that there must be acceptance of the existing boundaries and the establishment of these boundaries as part of a buffer against what they describe as NATO or Western aggression. Now, these are preconditions which South Africa and, of course, its African counterparts have no control over and cannot change with regards to the hard positions that have been established by both of these countries. It is understood that the Africans have embarked on, this this peace mission, really guided by almost self-interest. And this self-interest is because the war in the Ukraine has really affected living conditions and pushed up inflation and affected supply chains of important commodities like grain and fertilizers, which Africa relies on the Ukraine and Russia to provide in great masses. So as a result, questions are being raised by both of these belligerents in whether this African team really has the interests of bringing about really lasting peace, or just seeing a restoration of supply chains and commodities to Africa. The message to the South African government from a governance perspective, a good governance Africa perspective, is very simple: that South Africa's foreign policy should be founded on South Africa's constitutional values. And these constitutional values talk about the need for South Africa to respect international treaties like the Rome Statute, which we are a member of, which we have domesticated in South Africa, that it must be founded on the constitutional principles of freedom of association, respect for human rights, and the dignity of citizens of other states. But more importantly, we should be acting as an example to other African counterparts and the world indeed about the crucial importance of democracy. And our foreign policy that is absent of these values that are enshrined in our constitution are really at odds with the essence and the DNA of what forms a Mandela founder-driven foreign policy.